how to stay nonchalant and attractive around women. If you're going out every day in order to gain more confidence with women, then what happens naturally is over time you will become less confident with women. Because suppose you're a newbie, you're just starting out in this cold approach journey of yours, and you're just going around talking to different women, and you are just getting rejected left and right. All this rejection will hit your confidence, and you will actually start to believe that you're very less attractive to women. So over time, the more you approach women, the more you actually feel inadequate and inconfident, non-confident deep inside. That's what really happens when you do cold approaches all the time. However, if you understand the fact that the events that unfold in your day, the circumstances that happen in your life during the day is already predetermined, then there is a hope for you. The actions that you take during the daytime, the circumstances and the events that unfold during the daytime was written by yourself during your sleep. When you go to bed at night and you just lay there, what happens is all the feelings that you felt during the day, all the X amount of positive feelings and the Y amount of negative feelings, they start canceling each other out. And if you have felt more negative emotions in that day, those negative emotions are going to get impressed into your subconscious mind. Now you're sleeping with negative emotions impressed upon your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind, by its nature, now projects your next day in the image of your feelings. What I mean by that is, suppose you go to bed at night feeling more negative emotions than positive emotions. Now, what happens is tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, your life circumstances will reflect all these negative emotions. You will be faced with circumstances in your life that will reaffirm these negative emotions, that will reaffirm these emotions of jealousy or anger or resentment or feeling of inadequacy. So, suppose you have approached 10 different women today and all of them rejected you, and you go to bed at night feeling a little bit disappointed in yourself. You impress this feeling of disappointment in your subconscious mind, and tomorrow you will go out again, and because you have felt the emotion of disappointment during sleep, you will produce the life circumstances in your day that will reflect the feeling of disappointment, meaning girls will reject you again. So you must realize that you only have free will to choose the kind of emotions that you want to feel. The rest of the things, meaning your actions, the events that unfold during your day, are not free. It is completely predetermined by your own subconscious mind. This is the reason why Neville Goddard said feeling is the secret. And I understood this spiritual principle during COVID lockdown. When I was 19, I was into cold approaching, I was into pickup, I was into all these psychology hacks. But the more I approached, the worse I got. I still felt inadequate, I still felt non-confident, I still felt like I always had to be a dancing monkey in order to gain attraction, in order to become confident. But during COVID lockdown, I started to suffer from anxiety and panic attacks. These annoying mental health issues forces a person to turn inwards. So I started to meditate, and meditation taught me one thing. That is, all these outer game techniques, cold approaching, pickup techniques, psychology hacks, they were never real, meaning these things were powerless, these things were weak. The only thing that was actually producing some good result with women in my life was my own imagination and feeling that I had while I was reading a small book called sex god method. So, the only true power that you have right now at your own disposal is your own wonderful imagination and the capacity to hold positive feelings. If you learn how to use these two faculties, then you are going to get so much attractive around women. You're going to be so confident, you're going to be nonchalant, and all the things that you want. So, tonight, as you go to bed at night, just relax completely, either by deep breathing or by doing yoga nidra, and start to create an imaginal act where you are approaching beautiful women and the approach is going really well. Visualize that the approach is going really well. Visualize that you are looking at these girls' pupils and they are dilated because they are so attracted to you. Visualize that they are trying to touch you. Visualize that they are trying to kiss you. Visualize that they are trying to beg for your attention. And you're just there with a big smirk on your face. If you can imagine all these wonderful things happening to you, and you can mentally rehearse this imaginal act over and over again to the point that you feel elevated emotions of accomplishment or thrill or joy, then you have just impressed positive elevated feelings in your subconscious mind. Now sustain these elevated emotions for a while and simply sleep. Simply relax into unconsciousness. Now your job is done. Your work is done. Everything will be done by your subconscious mind tomorrow. Tomorrow you will be compelled to do the approach in the right manner. You will just be compelled to exhibit the correct body language. You will be compelled to utter the right kinds of words. Even girls in your visible physical reality will be compelled to come towards you, to notice you, to compliment you, and to express their desire to be with you. Everybody will lose free will once you have properly impressed your subconscious mind with elevated feelings of joy, gratitude, empowerment, thrill. Because your physical reality, your visible reality is not real at all. You can bend your physical reality through your subconscious mind. This is the reason why yogis call our physical visible reality as Maya. Maya means illusion or a magical lie. They knew that whenever they upgraded their own state of mind through meditation, through visualization, all of a sudden their terrible life circumstances vanished away and they became magnets for all the wonderful life circumstances. So you can create life circumstance where you are super attractive, where you're super nonchalant, where you're super confident around women, if you use your imagination and emotion wisely. However, a normal human being cannot visualize in first person. He cannot even put the sensory vividness in his imaginal act. He cannot mentally rehearse his imaginal act because his attention is so shit that it will either drift to past traumatic event where he was rejected by women, or it will anticipate a future worst case scenario where he is getting rejected by women. He has felt negative emotions for so long that it is going to be difficult for him to feel these elevated emotions all of a sudden. So I request you to do this meditation, to do this visualization, this breathing, this relaxation exercise as you go to bed at night for at least 30 nights in a row. Because you have to be able to train the faculty of your imagination, your attention, the capacity of your body to hold these positive feelings. Only when your attention, your imagination, your emotions are fixed, you can create wonderful life circumstances in your physical reality. Now, if you want one-on-one personalized coaching from me, where I will help you develop solid imagination, attention, and capacity of body to hold positive feelings so that you can imagine wonderful things happening to you, girls coming up to you, complimenting you, expressing their desire to be with you, you becoming really confident around women, and you want this imagination to get outpictured into your physical reality, then message me on my Gmail or my WhatsApp, which are linked in the description box and the pinned comment section down below as well. Subscribe and I will see you in the next video.